Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go over some technical analysis, gold and silver. I do like gold and silver, especially the physical format. I do have this to show you. What's up here? 1 ounce Valcambi Platinum Bar. Bam! Look at this. Maybe I can show you that. Valcambi Swiss Platinum 1 ounce right here. Just wanted to show that. I'm a man of my word. I pick this stuff up, buy it every once in a while. So that's the physical. I'm a big physical guy in terms of buying physical metals. Just wanted to show you that because I got this. Adding it to the stack. So let's do some technical analysis. I'll show you what I'm looking at and why I am such a long-term big bull on this stuff. So here we go. Here's the 10-year. I start with the 10-year because the 10-year sets the tone sometimes. We had an up day in the 10-year. This kind of looks like it's a double bottom. We've got wicks at the bottom here. Wicks means that it traded throughout the day and reversed hard on that day back higher, which means the momentum's to the upside. The momentum shot higher. We still had sellers in this downtrend line. Sellers, sellers, sellers. Another wick at the bottom. Buyers are under here. There are buyers, or I should say, there are sellers of bonds, which means that they're selling bonds and yields are going to go higher, is how I should say that. So we have sellers of bonds, which manifests itself in higher yields, because this is a chart of the yields of interest rates. So yields look like it might take an attack at this downtrend line to move higher. And if you zoom out, there's another kind of wing on the opposite side coming down to roughly this point. So we've got two wings coming out, and then I think we're gonna break higher here at some point. I've got the dollar going sideways today. I've got the gold continuous contract moving sideways today. Sideways dollar, sideways gold, for the most part. Here's the XAU to gold ratio on a big long-term perspective. I like touching on this. This chart gets me very excited. I like looking at it. We've been in this channel for many years saying that the mining gold and silver index to gold was in this kind of normal ratio alignment relationship. Then we broke out of this channel and we went on a let's go deep diving path and ran all the way back down to about 2015, 2016. And we are in massive undervaluation land for XAU in relationship to gold, which means that gold is cheap to a bunch of other things. XAU is cheap to gold. XAU is about to break this channel, hopefully, very soon, and move to the upside. If that happens, we should see an outperformance of the gold and silver index. The mining companies should come back to a more hopefully normal valuation, which is up here. If we go to an overvalued state of 0.3, and let's just say we're at 0.7, maybe it's a 3x, 4x opportunity, somewhere in that range of XAU outperforming gold. If gold goes up 5x, you get a 3 or 4x of the 5x. That is the type of leverage that I like to see. Gold to monetary base ratio, just to give you guys another outlook, gold's been underperforming the monetary base. The last inflationary period, a big inflationary period, was the 70s. Gold revalued itself in relationship to the monetary base. So we were in a not so inflationary period back here. It got revalued during the inflationary period all the way back to 4.5. We came back down. We had a little inflationary period from 2000 to 2008. That's this period here where we had some revaluation. It came back down. We are breaking out of this massive pattern to the upside, and we're coming upon an inflationary period where real estate's going into an expansionary phase. Expansionary phase of real estate, expansionary phase of real estate, expansionary phase of real estate. Those align perfectly with the revaluation of the gold to monetary base ratio. We are coming into an expansionary phase of real estate right now. So we should see at any moment gold starting to revalue itself against the monetary base, which it has a long way to go higher, and it could potentially go a very large distance higher. And if XAU to gold ratio is this low, we could potentially move a massive amount in the mining companies in a very short period of time. So looking at some of the ETFs, this is the ETF GDX. We're kind of zoomed in here. We do have a wick at the bottom. Momentum is starting to come back up on this down day. So down day, but the momentum is starting to come back up. Buyers versus the sellers, we have a war going on right here. Let's see what tomorrow brings us. Big picture view, we had this downward movement, sideways movement. We are in an uptrend right now, and that uptrend is still intact. So everything's good to go on a long-term perspective. SILJ coming on back. Nice little wick at the bottom. We'll see what the buyers got. They're gonna pull out their cards and actually use them. Their dollars. We'll see. Big picture view. This thing looks really like it's coiling up to go somewhere fast. Big, big pattern here. Big pennant formation almost. It's kind of consolidating to this point right in the tip over here. I think at any time it's going to break to the upside is my guess because of the monetary gold to monetary base ratio, because the XAU to gold ratio, because of the expansionary phase of real estate, which is inflationary. Inflationary periods have these things move higher. So I'm waiting at any time to see this thing break to the upside. Franco-Nevada already broke to the upside. Two big bullish engulfings right here. It's a chart pattern that means we are going to move higher. It moved higher. We broke out, and I think we're going to continue higher. FNV, from a very long-term perspective, I like this perspective very much. We could be trying to break out of this big upward trend line to the upside at any second here. We break this, maybe we go into this big, huge move higher. We'll see. Wheat and precious metals moving on sideways. Short term, little wick at the bottom, 50-day, adding some support underneath. Had some bullish engulfings in here. I think we're going to move higher at some point here. Hopefully. Big long-term perspective on wheat and precious metals from a weekly basis. Downtrend break. We're moving on higher. Little pullback here, and we're continuing to move up. Looks good from a long-term perspective. Sandstorm gold. Moving sideways, just kind of looking at this. Bullish engulfing, two bullish engulfings with a bearish engulfing and a little wick at the bottom. Buyers and sellers are battling it out right here. We'll see if the seller or the buyers come in here and push it higher tomorrow. Let's see what we do. Let's put a bullish engulfing in here, or just move on up. Big picture view on Sandstorm gold. We're coming on down, created this kind of basing, kind of bowl-shaped pattern. Pull back to the top of this support line, and hopefully we can move on higher at some point here. Platinum group metals looks pretty ridiculous. Big move lower. We've got this nice kind of bottoming basing pattern. We broke that to the upside massively with a huge amount of buying pressure, and we're coming back to do a retest. Right here, I kind of like it. Now, this is a higher risk company. It's a small developer company that's developing a mine. It is a little bit more palladium based, 65% palladium, 30% platinum, somewhere in that range. But right here, the chart looks pretty good. This is a good long-term hold if you want to hold it for a good move. And if platinum moves up, hopefully this gives you a little bit of leverage to that move. And this thing came down pretty quick. So I think what it's happening, if you look at the symmetry here, we had this nice kind of breakdown move. It came up, broke down, we came up and broke down this way. It's mirroring, this side is mirroring this side a little bit. And I think it provides good support right here where we could potentially move on up, hopefully. And I do own a little bit of it. Impala Platinum, to look at its thing, downtrend, sideways, uptrend. So we're in an uptrend move in Impala Platinum. So that one's looking like it's definitely got a little double bottom here. Anglo-American Platinum, we're kind of got that bowl-shaped pattern again. I think this is probably going to head on up from the big picture perspective. It looks like it broke its downtrend recently. I do own a little bit in Anglo-American Platinum. Actually, I own quite a bit. And hopefully we move on higher here. Endeavor Silver, just kind of looking at one silver company, give you guys a little bit different perspective here. We had a lot of bounces off this support resistance line and through here. And we came back and we're at that support line right now. We'll see what happens here in the short term. So that's what I've got for gold and silver today. I want to give you guys some of the big picture views. We're not out of this in terms of the bulls. I do think this is going to go higher. I think we have inflation. I think inflation is running hot. I don't think the market is taking the inflation serious. That's kind of my guess when trying to absorb this stuff. The inflation is there. I can see it when I go buy something. I can see it at the gas pump. I can see it in commodity prices. I can see it in food prices. I can see it everywhere. My toothpastes, they used to be 8 ounces. They're now 6 ounces, and they cost more. There is inflation out there, and there's a lot of inflation. And the way that I play it is I go into these things. They are still down. I am still a buyer of gold, silver, and platinum. Platinum, baby. This is my favorite. My favorite right here. I do own a bunch of silver, but this guy, it's got my heart. And why does that have my heart? Because it's the cheapest metal. So I do like platinum quite a bit. I do like silver a lot as well. I'm a big silver bull. I like the physical metals, and I like mining companies. And obviously, I like all the other stuff that's commodity related as well. I own a lot in that stuff. So I do think our time is coming. I do think we're in the right places. I know it's got the right valuations, the cheapest it's ever been in relationship to stocks. And the market conditions are going to change us around. The reason I'm confident in that is that market conditions have always pushed commodities higher under an expansionary phase of real estate. Every time. Go look at history when commodities were valued cheaply and we had an inflationary period under an expansion phase of real estate. Every time we've had that alignment, commodities have gone higher. Gold and silver have gone higher. It is accounted for the money supply. I don't see why this time is any different. I'm sure they're in there trying to hold this stuff down. I'm looking at this going, man, they got to be in there meddling around with interest rates, which they are. They got to be meddling around with these guys. And this is the reason I'm buying the living poop out of this stuff, is because they're in there meddling around with it. And if the market revalues this stuff in the next inflationary period, I want to be protected. I want the physical stuff. I want to be out of the system. Don't want to mess with it. So hopefully you guys like this update. Give me a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys listening and leaving comments. And thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.